me. Upright, upright, and fancy, fancy. Upright, upright, and fancy. Upright, upright, and fancy, fancy. Upright, upright, and fancy. Starring
Carra
and Chris. Ooh.
You make beautiful sounds with your mouth.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I do make magic with my mouth.
Yeah. Is it my mouth?
I mean, I think it's
probably right. It's a mixture of mouth and other parts of human body.
I mean, that's a question for Jesus. He's not here right now.
I'm gonna ask him like that. This is what I ask him. Like I'm gonna write a song about it. A good Christian hymn.
When you sit at the welcome table, one of these days.
One of these days, I'm going to ask him. Now I forgot the damn question what I was gonna ask him because I got too into the song.
Yeah, what makes my mouth magic?
Yeah. Why is my mouth so magic? That's what I want to know from the Lord.
I mean, this is as good a question as any. I mean, this is a wild world. So
why was I blessed? Why was I blessed? I said Mike Tyson earlier. It came out. Yeah. Anyway. Nonetheless,
I was not blessed in the same way that you were. No, I was listening on the way here in order to sort of like, because I worked today, parented today, did all the things. I was like trying to like get myself into a place where I was fun and myself, and so I was like, well, let's listen to some silly songs, and just when I'm alone in the car, sing so badly, and it really does. It's so nice. It's so nice to sing badly by yourself. It releases the same chemicals in your brain as singing well. Hey. But yeah.
No, so. There's such a crazy thing about being able to perform in front of people, like for a living.
I don't know how you do it.
It's such a crazy thing because I used to.
Oh, I forgot the timer.
I used to jam out. Well, God forbid.
I know. We're gonna go over 15 minutes anyway, but we might as well try.
I used to drive around in Birmingham when I was in high school. I sang in high school and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I sang, but I never really thought of myself as like a lead singer, you know what I mean? Like I would never have been able to do what I do now. So I used to jam out to stuff that was loud as I possibly could in my car. And one of the ones that stuck out to me, which is such a random song, it was Cool in the Gang, Misled. Like, baby, what's your claim to fame? Got me out of bed, heard you call my name. Like, it is such a hot song, and it was right perfect in my vocal range. Mm-hmm. It was perfect in that for me to just belt it.
Yeah.
It's a different, what I don't like it actually be kind of a fun thing to go back to and see what my full range was. Then if it's the same thing now. God, I didn't interrupt you.
No. It's very interesting. I think that like especially this ages us a bit, but like driving around listening to cassette tapes where you just like could not just like change the song super easily.
Yeah.
My good friend Alan, who is now one of the frontmen of Lady Couch, he said he learned to sing by he had like an Otis Redding best of cassette tape in his car, and he just belted it out like every single day, and he was just like he was the best teacher I could ever have.
Oh, I love that. And, I mean, I do think if that's what you do, then. If music is what you do, if you perform, if you play, whatever, you are very much influenced by what you grew up doing. Mm-hmm. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, he was in bands from the time I think maybe even middle school, but like it was always strengthening that vocal talent. And Otis Redding, there is no comparison. No one can be Otis Redding, but like you really learn a lot about like emoting and all of these and also like improvising and things because he did some amazing things like off the cuff as well. I don't have to tell you about this. You were a subject matter expert.
Well, I do love me some Otis Redding, and honestly,
what's your favorite Otis Redding song?
What's my favorite Otis Redding song? It's probably one that I can't sing. He has a vastly
There's
different voice than I do.
Can't sing.
I very much appreciate that, and I love. So my first answer, of course, I have to have complicated answers. Yeah. So my first off the cuff for the first part of my life was These Arms Are Mine.
Oh my God, so good.
But it was because it was my mom's favorite, and so it was played all the time.
Yeah.
So I learned that song. I knew that song. I know every little like run that he does at the end and stuff. I have a fun story about that. But I think that I don't know. He does. Try a Little Tenderness, right? Is that, I feel like
that song.
Songs where he really just smacks you around with it are really impressive to me. Yeah. So I love the bigger, bolder ones too, but These Arms Are Mine is probably my number one. Just historically speaking.
Yeah, I mean it's such a good one. Okay, sorry, I interrupted you. You were talking about driving around Birmingham.
No, what's your favorite Otis Redding song?
Because that's so hard.
It is hard.
Try a little tenderness. Very, very good. Unfuckwithable, I might say.
Hashtag unfuckwithable.
Yeah, I mean there are certain things unfuckwithable.
Yeah.
In the book of Carra. And I think that Otis Redding, I mean just fucking incredible. So many of the standards that he recorded, he put his own stamp on in such an amazing. You hear his version of My Girl, and it's just like Temptations. What? Temptations who?
Temptation who?
Yeah, that ain't no temptation. No, I'm not gonna be kidding. I'm
no longer tempted at all.
I'm not tempted. I'm not putting the Temptations on blast.
No, not at all. They're amazing.
It's just. There was, what was the song? I'm trying to think of the name of it, but I'm blanking on it. But there was a song that was something about I've been loving you too long to stop now.
That actually.
That's so fucking good.
If I can go back, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Thank you for
I would love to hear you sing that song.
Oh, I love that damn song. But there's it's tough.
I kept
I'm a different singer than him. It's tough. Go ahead.
Also dating us. I come from the age of the mix CD, where you made the mix CD for your friends, for your crushes, I still love a playlist.
Me too.
I just learned how to put tracks in order on Spotify, which is, I feel like...
baby steps,
It's very hard to do. It shouldn't be so hard. It used to not be so hard, and then I was trying to make a playlist for a friend and put it in actual order.
Yeah.
And not just do that.
Well, do you pay for the
Sure.
stuff?
Well,
you should be able to do it then.
Yeah, but you have to go through all these steps. It's very complicated. Yeah. It shouldn't be.
I don't know that I've tried to move shit around.
Yeah. Well,
if I'm being honest.
I'm someone with ADD and perfectionism, so one of my favorite things is to be I should be doing this. Yes. I should pay the electric bill so that the power doesn't go. Actually, I really need to make sure that these tracks are in the right order for my friend's playlist.
Yeah.
And
priorities. Yeah. Plus, in life coaching, we call that you don't want to should yourself.
Oh yes.
Because why should you do anything?
It's true. We are all, this is your one precious life.
Yeah.
Joy should not be a crumb. You just do.
True. Joy should not be a crumb.com. I feel like Joy Should Not Be a Crumb is the name of my new memoir.
You'll have to, maybe the estate of Mary Oliver will have a problem with that, but maybe not. She was pretty cool.
Is that the name of something?
It's a part of one of her poems.
Oh, never mind then.
It's fine.
I thought you were just being you and some words came out of your mouth that rolled out. Okay.
It's a Mary Oliver joint, but she's a cool lady. I think she'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
But I've Been Loving You Too Long to Stop Now was a song I love it so much, and I used to put it on so many mix CDs, and I would put it on mix CDs friends, but also people who, I don't know, were of the straight male persuasion, and every single one of them thought I was sending them a message that I had been in love with them, and I was just like, can we not be so literal? This is just a great song.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that.
It doesn't have. I mean, it could be that.
It can be that.
I mean, I have done that with other songs with other people.
Sure.
But I certainly, I remember the first my now husband of 5 million years. The first like mix I made for him, he was like, "Well, that's a little bold." I was like,
"You're like, I happen to like 9 Inch Nails."
As far as like,
I'm just kidding.
There's that like George Harrison song, like if oh my god, the like where he's like Krishna. I shouldn't say. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, the
I love that song.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
My sweet Lord.
Yeah. There we go.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Totally. It's fun.
Yeah. So I remember like that song in particular being on, and him being like, I mean, I like it. It's a little bold, new in their relationship, and I was like, well, I think you could trust me that I'm not trying to like send direct messages through direct quotes, because I also, there's also a bunch of like cuckoo banana shit on there too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am a little bold, so.
Well, I have a friend of mine, a lifelong friend of mine that I knew when I was at the senior year of high school. Mm-hmm. We met and we hung out for years after that, and he came and lived with me in Atlanta and stuff. But he would feel songs in that way, like I, and it actually. I remember one time kind of being a dick about it, because I gave him you said you were CD playlist. I did tape.
Ooh, I made those too.
Tapes.
I made me a mixtape or two.
So I think at this point we were doing CDs, because I was either right out of college or something like that. But, he gave me one, and every lyric of everything that he gave me meant something. And so like it was amazing. It's a lot of pressure, but it's amazing. No, it was amazing, and he just, it wasn't like he went out of his way and it was this huge deal. It's just who he was. You know what I mean? So I remember being kind of a dick to him and giving him a CD mix at one time and being like, not every lyric is about you, or something like like I remember kind of being a dick about it.
I don't think that's a dick.
I'm sorry, Chris Canal. I'm really sorry if that you may have not even noticed, but I did. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I like to leave a I don't know, like an aura of mystery. You know, maybe this is about you, maybe it's not. I think that it's, I don't know. And also sometimes, songs, they contain multitudes, just like relationships and individuals. And so it's nice to, I don't know, I feel like it's nice to touch on themes, but the like the lyrical, what's it they call it in Christianity when people are just like obsessed with like every word of the Bible is the word of God?
Evangelical. Yes,
sorta. Evangelical.
Yeah.
But also...
Evangelical is how I said that.
Evangelical.
Yeah.
Also, I was wrong the last time when I said evangelical didn't mean Christian. Technically, it does mean Christian, but you can also
be
apply
evangelical about other stuff.
Yeah. We want to...
I
know you listeners are really paying attention to all the things I say and all the mistakes I make.
What else is there to pay attention to?
Yeah, certainly not,
So...
Yes.
We are upright and fancy.
It just occurred to me. Ourselves. Okay, yes. I mean, we did in the small way. Yes.
In the song. I feel a pattern coming on, because we do the theme song and then we immediately start talking. And
I lock
minutes.
in. And,
I know.
And then we're just like, let's just talk.
Mm-hmm. Which is what's so fun.
So Chris Burke, ladies and gentlemen.
Carra Jaycox.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I mean, you are incredible, and I'm so glad to be here with you.
You are incredible. I'm rubber and you are glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
Sticks to me.
Sticks to you.
Oh
my god.
Well,
Pee-wee.
Oh my god.
Pee-wee.
I maintained the crush on
Pee-wee Herman?
Yes, or his oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm mom brain. I have like Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens, yes. Yeah.
I always loved him, and I never stopped. And I always kind of thought he was hot. Honestly, I really did.
That might be a step too far, but I get an attraction to him though.
Not as Pee Wee.
No, like me with Jennifer Connelly and Labyrinth. I didn't want to like mate with her.
Mate. That's
but I just wanted to hang out with her. I wanted her to be my best friend.
No, I think I did want to mate with Barb. But not as Pee Wee.
Oh God, no! Please no.
His regular. You didn't like his regular.
No, I did. No. But I did, when you first said it, I thought you meant in the Pee Wee
getup,
and I was like,
no, that's not my kink. I'm not kink shaming anyone who wants the bow tie and but that's not my kink. I preferred the longer hair.
Yeah.
But I felt like he was an attractive man. I love a weirdo.
And he was fun, and he was cool and weird, and didn't take himself too seriously. Clearly.
Also, and who cares if he like jacked off in a theater that is made for people jacking off?
It was like, made for people to jack off.
It wasn't like he was at like a Fern Gully premiere and jacking off.
Not Fern Gully. What was that? 93 or something. I loved Fern Gully.
I remember seeing it in the theater.
Yeah.
But like but it was like it was a place where people come to come.
Uh-huh.
And, I feel like he was wrongly persecuted.
100%. However, there was a great joke that somebody told me, if I can figure out how to say it quickly. Who are the two most famous people to be shot in theaters? Abraham Lincoln and the guy sitting in front of Paul Rubens. Shot in the back of his head.
Ah, okay. I feel like he's too polite for that. He's not gonna, like, you can... I mean, I don't have a dick, but like you can control where it lands for the part. Yeah.
Unless you're a squirter.
Wait, are you talking about like a male squirter?
I don't know if there is such a thing, but I mean, I've seen movies and things of things going everywhere. Oh. But I mean, you can kind of control it. I mean, I guess if you're trying to like,
I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't feel like he would be a Superman that hoe kind of human. I feel like he would be respectful and deal with his men appropriately.
I mean, the fact that that happened. This is homophobia because freaking George Michael got by he said in a thing, he was like, well, I wasn't expecting someone dressed as the police. I mean, whatever. Like it was clearly a setup. Yeah. Like it was clearly set up to get him,
Sure, and he was going to a place where people go to for that kind of thing.
Yes.
The only time I think people should get in trouble if they're doing things against other people's will in 100%. Spaces that are not appropriate. But if you're going to an appropriate space to do something sexual, then more power to you. Good job. Yes. Good job for finding your community.
Yeah.
Have
at it.
Have at.
Yeah, we are not. Have at.
But it's like, I don't know. I remember my mom had such a crush on George Michael growing up.
Me too.
I mean, who didn't? I mean, he was beautiful. Too. Also, you sing father figures sometimes in your part of your show.
I do.
I think that is so very hot.
I love that. I love that song.
I mean...
I don't do it as part of my cruise ship show, for sure.
No?
It is my karaoke jam. Can you imagine me singing to, average age of 70? 65? I'll be your father figure, put your tiny hand in mine. Like singing to Mildred down there. I mean, she might like it.
I think she'd like it.
But, like, I have to sort of pick and choose what songs, because I only have so many songs in my show. So, Father Figure has not made it in there yet.
Maybe one day.
But
I think it's an incredible song.
It should be in there, if not.
Yeah, my mom was horrified by and she was convinced that he was set up, and I was like, even as a child, I was like, Mom, that's a homosexual.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and all of the people that I had crushes on were homosexual for a very long time, and still probably
It's
present
usually
day.
opposite for me. It's
Yeah?
usually mostly straight dudes. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I just I feel like you always want what you can't have, and I also was so
For the most
good
part,
at
yes.
figuring out all of those lovely defense mechanisms we have where we're not ready for love, so we just decide to create all these
Fail.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that was part of it. But also, gay men are just better than straight men. You heard it here first.
You heard it here. I didn't have to say it.
I mean, it's true. It's true. But thankfully, I have mostly gotten over the like falling hopelessly in love with someone who is biologically incapable of loving me.
That's probably for the best.
Not to brag.
Yeah. Oh no, my friend who is still one of my favorite people in the whole world. Shout out to Anna Kate.
Anna Kate. I don't know you, but I'm sure you're great.
She had a couple gay boyfriends in a row, including me. I was one of. At least two. The guy before me was definitely homosexual. And I just think it's...
Wait, you were one of her boyfriends?
Yeah, I was one of... Yeah,
Aww.
she's still one of my favorite people.
He's such a good boyfriend.
I mean, I don't think I was. I don't know. I was like a 16-year-old. I was confused. I was 15. Mm-hmm. And I don't know
No one has their shit together at 15.
No, but like I just adored her. And that was what... And I at times had made out with another one of my friends, girlfriends, as fun.
Sure.
I think she knew that I was gay too, but I never, like, there was one friend that I never made out with. There was always it's just a funny thing to think back. Like, I made out with some of these girls. Like,
lucky them.
It was,
okay, so I know we have to move on. Also, we didn't introduce the podcast at all. No. But I just want to say, because this is just a beautiful cherry on top of this this cascade of stories, I grew up in Germany, and then we had a foreign exchange student, because the people who run foreign exchange student programs do not do all the checks and balances they need to, and they gave my family a foreign exchange student, which, it's they were...
I didn't know where we were going with that.
They were a little desperate to place her, and they were just like, okay, this hot mess will do. And anyway, I went and stayed with her, and I got to know some of her friends and friends of friends, and I felt absolutely in love. Like, probably the first time. Oh my goodness.
That's for my... Oh no, hold on. It stopped recording at that moment, so we'll start again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, she was pretty straight and narrow, but she had a friend who was a little more out there, and she introduced me to her friends, and we went partying. And there was this boy. I was like 16, I believe he was 16 or 17.
Where were you again, geographically?
I'm sorry, I did not explain that well. So basically, she lived with us for a year, and then I went to Germany.
Yeah, Germany
during the. Part of a summer, her parents were like, well, let's return the favor. Let's
West
have you out.
Germany. I'm just kidding.
Germany was unified at this time.
What?
So I did live there when the wall fell down.
Wow.
And I still have a t-shirt from it.
Wow. All you got was this lousy t-shirt.
Mm-hmm. It's not lousy. It's like hot pink and black.
Cool.
It's beautiful.
Amazing. Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
And so... I fell in love with this boy. I was in public high school in Alabama, and I was just like, am I straight? I don't know. But like, I feel like I would feel more inclination. Obviously, this is a spectrum. Everything is fluid. Of course,
everything is.
You're trying to figure things out. But like so many, like I would just see these boys in like the like, camo and like fucking, I don't know, just really uninspired everything.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, I don't even know if they're like...
Do I like boys? If these are boys?
Yeah.
Is this really what I have to offer here? What they have to offer here?
Yeah. It was upsetting. Yeah. And so then I went to Germany, and I met this boy, Chris, who I just loved, and he was beautiful and funny, and he called when he said he was gonna call and took me out, and like, it was very like Cher and Clueless of just like, all the things that were,
all the checks.
I should have seen it, but instead I was just like, wow, he is respectful. He like really seems to like me and follow through with plans. And I remember there was one point, sorry, this is all getting to the point where one point I went to his parents' house when they weren't home and they were having a big party, and I was like, this is the moment, this is the time. Yeah. And he asked me to go upstairs to schminken. I was like, this surely has to mean make out. And we get upstairs and I find out in German, schminken means to put on makeup. Like drawing flowers on each other. I still didn't get it. I still was in love with
that.
him.
That is amazing, though.
I feel like that's like the perfect encapsulation of like baby Carra and her like gay blindness also.
But so I actually, when you were saying that, I was wondering, and I know we need to move on to the fishbowl. I was wondering if that happens less now because there's a word for it. You know what I mean? Like even 10 years after I grew up, it was still not really like, if someone was effeminate and stuff, it was still like they were just a straight dude and was effeminate. Light in the loafers.
Yeah, like I didn't know anyone who was.
Loafers. I still am. I definitely was then, and I still am.
For sure.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like when we were when I graduated, which was like 2001, very long time ago.
1998.
I mean, when we're talking about a long time ago, it's in the same.
Yeah, you're right.
Same ballpark.
You're right.
When I graduated, there was nobody out in my class, and I remember my very good friend, who I still love so much, and he and I are still very good friends. He was like, Carra, I'm not gay because I have a crush on Madonna.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I was like, that is literally the gayest thing you could say, my dear. But now living out loud.
Like I don't want to sleep with Jennifer Connelly. I want her to be my best friend.
You want to like brush her hair and like hear her secrets.
Oh my God, her hair.
Her hair.
I would have died. I still to this day would die to brush her hair. She's like a Pantene commercial. Like
don't
you.
dream
Look at
it.
this.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I'm not Jennifer Connelly level, but I am.
You're close. I love it.
I don't have the gloss. She clearly took her vitamins.
Yeah.
But
she also has a whole lot of money, and
yeah. And one thing I have on her is there is no documented footage of me with a double dong with people around us saying ass to ass.
With her, there was?
Oh, yeah. We talked about this in our...
I remember the ass to ass, but I don't know that I
remember the ass to ass.
Yeah, I remember the ass to ass.
It's the word that I can never say without sounding like I'm drunk. Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
I remember that. Because I've said I'd never seen it.
And yes, well, but you get to see your girlfriend doing some very bold moves in the anal department for the people.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to.
I don't think that's your thing. I want to
hang out with my like Jim Henson dolls.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You want to braid her hair.
Ambrosius! Come back here, Ambrosius! You're going the wrong way, Ambrosius! Come back here, Ambrosius! I love that dude.
He's so good.
He's so good.
He's so good.
So
in
good.
the tarot deck.
Ambrosius! Ambrosius, you're going the wrong way, Ambrosius!
Yeah. Sir Didymus, one of my favorite. Yes. Sorry, now I just want to say quotes from Labyrinth, but I won't because we're already so far into the podcast. So basically, this is a podcast where we talk about some shit, and we hope you like it, our sweet friends. And then we answer some questions out of a sugar dish, also called fishbowl.
Fishbowl sugar dish.
And then we answer some advice questions. And if you have some advice for us as the podcast develops, as you tell us what you want, because I know you want this.
Because we know you want it.
You want it.
I sure do.
I mean, I'm game.
Yeah.
And so, we might do more. We might
do the shake weight. Is that what you're laughing at?
Yeah, you are. the way that you looked at it as you were shaking it.
Find someone that looks at you like I did at the sugar dish.
That's right, and then you will find happiness.
Yeah.
And as we get more questions sent to us, and that part can become more of a part of the show. But also, like, you know, if this is working for you, it's working for us.
It's certainly working for us.
uprightandfancy@gmail.com is the way to reach us if you would like to tell us what you'd like to hear. But also, if you have a question, it can be anonymous or not. You can record a voice memo, send it via email. We
Recording
love
a voice memo is fun because then we can listen to your voice memo together. All of us.
All of us.
Be bold.
Well,
Send
still being
memo.
anonymous. Yeah, be bold. Live boldly.
Yeah.
And go upstairs just schminking. You don't know what's gonna happen.
That is so funny to me.
It is so funny to me.
How did you find out that that's what that meant? Did you find out that's what that word meant while you were doing his face? Well, or did you think of it later and you were like, fuck, that's what that meant?
Oh no, when we went upstairs, I was like, okay, schminking. And then he was like, schminking, like, how do you say, put on makeup? And I was like, but I wasn't like, I was like, oh, we get to be physically close to each other as we're painting each other's face. Because we were both into techno, all these things. We were like having a little rave at his parents' house in Germany. And we were like, I had like pants with streamers.
Yes.
Don't be jealous.
The 90s? Early aughts.
Yeah.
Which makes it a barf. That just say call them the aughts.
It was the late 90s.
Okay.
Anyway, I found out, again dating myself, I hope all of you people who are 40 and over feel seen. I found out on Instant Messenger. We were instant messaging after I got home.
AOL.
I
still have my AOL. Not my instant message, but my actual email. And I have new ones now. I just haven't used them. He's having a dream. Oh, little puppy dog. If you hear some little yips, that's Charlie having a dream. Hopefully he's having a dream about... Present. Yeah. He's having a dream about Upright and Fancy. Go ahead with whatever. What did we just get interrupted? Okay.
I feel like it's time to fishbowl because we are already so past the time to fishbowl. But we're having so much fun.
Oh, we are having fun. I have to pee.
Oh my God.
Real fast. Can we?
And we're back.
And there's a million people, all of our friends. I'm on a text thread with Toby and all his girlfriends and all like the ones he's known since he was a wee tot. And
a wee tot?
And they'll a gaby. Oh, I was a gaby. I used to be a gaby.
You're still a gaby to me, baby.
Oh.
I feel like, yeah.
You're too kind.
Yeah, the threads get out of control.
I love them though. Like it'll be like all of a sudden there'll be like 54 missed.
Yeah, you just like look at your phone and be like, holy hell, how are there 92 unread messages?
Yeah. Sometimes there's like an overwhelming amount.
But it's okay because I feel like friendship is the closest thing I found to a meaning of life.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This one, okay, fishbowl, we just have ideas. Chris has put most of these things in the fishbowl/sugar dish.
Yeah.
Previous podcast ideas.
Oh.
So are these for podcasts that we have wanted to do in the past?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking fun things that led us to this.
Yeah. Let's talk about our failures. Just kidding.
Well, that is not what I meant.
I know. I like to
dig.
Yeah. They my friends call it the Carra spiral, where, we'll take something fun and then I'll just be like, how dark and twisty can we make this? It's a good time. So my friend, who is also a gaby, and I started a podcast a few years ago. We never released it for lots of reasons, but it was called Reba and the Bandit, and it was about psychosexual thrillers.
Like novels or stories
movies.
Or movies.
So it was a podcast that was, so basically our theme was, and I love you, Kyle, and I'm still willing to do this anytime you'd like to. But now he's fancy. So, I mean, fancy in a different way. Like fancy in a public facing way. You are also. I have nothing to lose here. Yeah. But, so yeah, just, I'll put all the...
Yeah, well, I will too. For the most part.
I like to push your boundaries.
I like my boundaries pushed.
Oh,
Pepsi!
The Pepsi chapstick.
The Pepsi chapstick.
I like my boundaries pushed, Pepsi.
Yeah. Who's talking about boundaries again? What's going on?
What you gonna do with that Pepsi?
Yeah.
So, what that mouth do? So anyway, previous podcast. So we've been the Bandit. That was just, we were going to decide podcast to podcast who was Reba and who was the Bandit. It made no sense. We had fun.
That's fun.
And yeah, we recorded a few. I still have them all. And we have a great theme song where my friend Emily, who is a professional musician, recorded a parody of Psycho Killer. But it was...
from the Talking Heads? Psycho Killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I won't do justice to it if I try to sing it, but it was
amazing.
It was so good. Anyway, we had a movie, and then we would have a drink that went with it, and we would the goal was to have people watch the thing before we would release the name of what we were going to do the next time people would watch it.
Oh, fun.
And then we would and then the next time we would recap it. And some of them were the Lifetime movie of what's her name? One of them was Gone Girl. One of them the Lifetime movie.
Well, that's fun.
That was
with Meredith Baxter Birney. Meredith Baxter.
Yeah.
Not so Birney.
Oh my God! How do you know? Because it's just
Toby
actually was.
Toby and I always say because she
personified
the Lifetime thing, but also she was Meredith Baxter Birney, but then had an abusive relationship, divorced, came out as lesbian. So we call her Meredith Baxter Not So Birney. So whenever we talk about a Lifetime movie, it's always Meredith Baxter Not So Birney, and this time it actually was Meredith Baxter Not So Birney. That's amazing.
And so
that's
hilarious. We had so much fun, and I would.
That's fun.
Yeah, and there have been a million. Thank you. There are a million ideas that I've had, but doing this podcast with you is just the most fun, and I really love that it is loosey goosey because we just have a good time, and I feel that. I don't think that many people are really looking for us to hit the marks on specific things every single time.
I hope not.
Because I hope
That's
not.
a good thing.
Because there's a time for that, and there's also a time for just some kiki. And,
I think we're kiki.
And also some silly. Okay, so tell me about your previous podcast ideas.
There was a time that I just was throwing out. I was like, hey, let's do one. Hey, let's do one. Hey, let's do one. But every time I threw it out, I was like, I would love to talk to you for an hour. You know what I mean? If everybody that in my head, I was like, I could do a podcast with you. Well,
you get a podcast. You get a
podcast. And I do my own podcast.
Yes, you do.
Called The Traveling Circus with Chris Burke. Mm-hmm. And it's super fun, and it's just about me traveling around and doing stuff, and I just talk for 20 minutes. And interview my mom, which is amazing. I want to interview you for my traveling circus. Ooh, that would be a good idea.
That would be fun.
Cross-pollination. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Pollinate this berry bush anytime.
Other than the preemptive... My friend... my friend Jenny Kim Godfrey, who I just got to hang out with. She's a singer and an incredible singer, and I met her on ships and stuff. She got me hooked up with the Sarasota gig, and we were gonna. She's one of those people that I can talk to like you, where it's just at some point I'm gonna have to sleep. I'm gonna have to eat a dinner, you know what I mean? We can't actually, can we actually just keep talking? that kind of
Yeah.
And it's similar to with you, and ours was gonna be 2 peas in a podcast.
Aww.
Oh my God, I just gave out my $1 billion idea, but whatever. I'll edit that shit out anyway. I'm in charge. I'm just kidding. No, okay, so anyway.
Billion? And this is podcasting in 2024.
Yes.
No one needs another podcast.
Yeah.
But you're welcome for all this time and effort.
Yes.
Our
So the actual one, before I forget,
yes.
because I'm going to forget, the actual one that I was going to start with Hannah Blaylock, who's amazing, and Cody Ballou, who's amazing and killing it. gay country artist and Hannah,
Mm-hmm.
we were going to do one called TMI.
Oh.
Where we talked about things that people, didn't want to talk about. Like gay stuff and...
Yeah.
And, maybe that one
This-
I wouldn't encourage her to listen to, but...
I mean, this is also a TMI kind of podcast.
Yeah, this is 100% has built from other... This podcast to me has built from what all of the other podcasts...
Would you like me to hold it? Is this the ceremony?
I feel like to me, every other podcast I've thought about has culminated here.
Oh my God. I
Right?
feel like we're on Love is Blind and you just... you just were like, it's you. It's always been you.
It's you. It's always been you. I don't know. I've never seen Love is Blind, but...
Oh, lucky
I think
you.
I've been told.
Okay, so it's Chris's turn to pick from the fishbowl
I'm
/
picking from
sugar
the
dish.
fishbowl / sugar dish.
Hand in my sugar dish.
I have so many in there that it's hard to just pull out one. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. Server stories.
Ooh, server stories.
So to me, the first one that pops up for me,
Mm-hmm.
the main one that pops up for me, and I've talked about it many times. My friend Laura Clapp, who
Mm-hmm.
helped me, push me into traveling circus with Chris Burke, get me used to what we were doing so that I would know what I was doing a little bit for us. Like,
Yeah.
she's part of the reason why this is happening.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you out there.
Thank you, Miss Laura Clapp Davidson. What's up? She has the quintessential server story
Okay.
where she had a big top of people. Mm-hmm.
And big top, if you're not in the industry, so Chris was he was the best server. I mean, he serves. How are you surprised? But so like I
was damn good at it.
I can serve conversationally. I can serve sometimes with my fashion every once in a while. Yes. But I cannot serve professionally where like I'm not talented in this arena. You are very talented in this arena, and you for many years were supporting your music career in the grand tradition of Nashville musicians by serving. Yes. So please tell me your story. Sorry.
So no, but the main one I can think of is Laura's, and she had a big top of people, which just meant it was like a bunch of over like a 10 top or something like that. Yes. But they were like a bunch of kids and whatever, like about like that age where they're like punks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they like her bill was like, 84.17 or whatever, and they gave 84 like 87, and they gave her 85, and there was change left, and they like left the change, and they were like this and like walked off, and she was the one to take the change and throw it at him and be like, y'all need this more than I do, like whatever, like she is the quintessential.
Yeah,
it's like urban lore.
Yeah,
as a waiter, you hear these things like some gnarly person takes the bar thing and does a shot, the bar mat shot, whatever. No one ever does that shit. You always hear about people throwing the change at people. No one ever does that shit. Laura fucking Clapp did that shit.
Good.
Yes.
I remember being in college and educating all of these people who were trying to leave like quarter tips at diners. Like, no.
Nay, Fluffy.
Yes, you do.
Nay, Fluffy.
Nay. And like, people were like, well, I'm a good person. I'm horrified. It was like, it doesn't matter if your bill, and this was, back in the day before inflation. So it was like, it doesn't matter if your bill is like $6.75. Yeah. You need to leave at least like
$1, $2, $3, something like. If it's $6, you're not leaving 57 cents.
Absolutely not. It is not a math question.
Yeah.
It is a humanity question, because these people are making like $2.13 an hour.
You know that people are out there that have never waited tables before, never had to, and you just end up dealing with it. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
My temperament was good for waiting tables. My like organization skills and I think to my detriment, maybe. There was something about succeeding from the craziest night of work and making it fucking through and making your $187 fucking dollars, like but you've been to battle with everybody else that you work with, and and I worked at the Yellow Porch for 7 years, which is a long time because we were our own bartenders
Mm-hmm.
as well. I still have nightmares about it. But those people, like you make it, you battle through things that are not, you know, that you just, I don't know. It's just, there was oddly something that was soothing to me about that when I did that.
I mean, I think that you are an achievement-oriented human.
Perhaps.
And so that served you as you were serving.
Even the small achievements of being like,
but it's not.
I remembered your fucking app. Yeah.
But that's not a small achievement when you actually do it, because it is a lot of things to keep track of at once. And I just my brain just collapsed like a flan in a cupboard. They were like, there were just so many times that I just, someone would be like, I'd like an extra spoon. I'd be like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gone from my memory the second that I walked away from the table.
There's to me, it was there was a moment that I understood that being good at waiting tables is its own beast.
Yeah.
Like, it has nothing to do with brain power or smarts or intelligence or anything. Like, literally, they're dumbass people that are the best waiters of all time. And the smartest people, there are a lot of, like, very super intelligent people that it just doesn't jive with them. It's a crazy gig.
It is a crazy gig. And it's also one where I feel like in America we just, like so many things, we do it wrong. Whereas in so many other countries, they get paid a living wage just to be there, and so they're not trying to they're like, what if someone leaves them a quarter, it's not going to prevent them from feeding their children. But like it's very it's, I don't know, it is a strange skill, and it really is. And you and Toby both so good at it. I so bad. I so bad. My second job that I ever had was at a sushi restaurant in Huntsville, Alabama. No longer there, Ito Sushi. And my friend...
Emo Sushi?
I mean, we were the only white girls, we were the only white people employed at the entire establishment. All of the other waitresses were... Because, Huntsville, Alabama, there is a military base there, and I don't know how much everyone knows about military culture, but there's... One of the best things about it that is not talked about is the... confluence of cultures that happens from people meeting people, marrying people, having kids with people
overseas and things and everywhere. Okay.
And so
that's cool. That's a cool little side effect.
Yeah, it's one of the few bright sides of the military-industrial complex. Yeah. And and so we were, it was just all of these people that were just like, there was this one lady named Deborah who was, she was so mean. And mean old Deborah. She was this
classic Deborah.
This Korean lady named Deborah. And she was always so angry. And then I found out later, after I had left, that she got so mad at someone one time that she literally put a pencil through their hand.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But also so many nice people, and it was
but also so many nice people.
I mean, but it was just it was very interesting to be like a 16-year-old girl in Alabama, like waiting tables at a sushi restaurant and meeting all of these like women of the world who were from, who had crazy backstories. And I don't really know even if I have a great story besides just being so bad at it. Like I just remember there was a time where I had like sushi bar where you have to work quick, and you have to generate a lot of tabs at one time because people are trying to get out of there. Yeah. And I just remember like at one point a woman stepping in and just being like, I'm just going to do this for you. Because I was just like in tears. Like I just had there were just like, 20 tickets I needed to run. And I just had
the worst. And split checks.
Oh my God, yes. And, but there's also a tatami room, and I felt so fancy in the tatami room, and I felt worldly. But I really wasn't. I was just a weird little white girl, and I eventually was relegated to hostess. That's really what most places just figured out. Like, okay, we'll just A hostess gig.
That's how you came into my life, right? Mm-hmm. You were hostessing at Southern Bread?
I started waiting, and then I became more of a hostess.
Really? You did the same thing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Those are my
Was it for
only
the same
two
reason?
waiting tables gigs, and they were both like, I really thought this time I'm going to figure it out. Like, no.
It's just like there's a certain amount of that soothed me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like having to put it together.
Yeah.
You know, like and
it's a puzzle, and it really is amazing.
At the end, having it and being like, I fucking did that.
I mean, that's how I feel like, honestly, with my personality and my language when I am not censoring myself. People have a hard time believing that I've worked with children like my whole life, but I have. And
no,
but like that's how I would feel like when I would have like a really hard like babysitting gig or something with like just impossible children. Like when I would get them, like when I would like get them fed, their teeth brushed,
doing the
damn thing. You know, I felt like such a sense of accomplishment. Like I fucking did that.
Yeah.
Like these wild children are now asleep, like sleeping angels, and like I wrangled that beautifully. But I could not wrangle a like multiple five tops beautifully.
I don't think I could wrangle that. I do have one babysitting story, and then we should move on to our advice. Column, whatever.
Yes. Whatever. The thing that we're supposed to, like, the
next
point
step
of the podcast.
Yeah, the actual
eventually...
point of the podcast, which we'll get to at some point, yes.
Maybe.
Possibly. Pos not. So I babysat this family named the Palomars. I feel like, in retrospect, I'm like, I was way too young. Mm-hmm. But, like, I was 12.
Yeah.
You know, and babysitting, two of them at least. Mm-hmm. You know, I think Chase was the oldest, and he was a few years younger than me. So I took care of the rest of them. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so one time it was just me and the youngest. His name was Christopher as well, which was cute. But I always enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Being over there, I was so young. But he was like, you have to sit in here and read for me. And I was like, okay, whatever. So like I sat in his little bed and I read for him, and I was like 12-year-old me. Mm-hmm. Is putting this fucking kid to bed. Yeah. And
that's how it used to be.
I was the youngest 12-year-old ever. I didn't know what the fuck. If any emergency had happened, what? Like, I would have had no idea what to do. I would have called my mom. Mm-hmm. Clearly, mom knew what to do all the time. And my dad definitely did. But anyway, so he was like, and I was like, okay, while we're done, I'm going downstairs. I wanted to go downstairs to do the Channel 2 cable thing and see Playboy Channel. Yeah. That was what I really wanted to do. But anyway, so I stayed up there, and he was like, you need to lay with me for a little while. Mm-hmm. Because I need you to do that for
Hopefully
me to
not
sleep.
Biblically.
No, at all. So I did, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm on the end of his bed.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The next thing I know, I feel, Chris. I fell asleep, and that was at like 7:30, and this was at 2:00 in the morning. I fell asleep. They didn't get home till like 1:30 or something like that in the morning.
Those kids wore you out.
And when I say that I had drooled on the end of this boy's bed, it was all, I was like, like I was dead. I was dead asleep. I had drooled all over his bed. Okay, so anyway, that was my babysitting. So then they drove me home, and I just went to bed, and that was like, okay, that was my 12-year-old. Did they do that anymore?
Probably got paid like $3.75 and called it a day.
$12 probably. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh my God! Yeah. No, I mean, as a parent, I wish that we had kept this tradition alive of hiring children at a very low rate too, because it's like now it's like I try to be a decent person. I feel like you need to pay someone at least $20 an hour, if not $25, to like watch your kid.
Yeah. So like I wouldn't have expected it because I just felt like it was what I was. That's what I was supposed to do. We need you to go do that. Okay. Well, I'll go do that. Like. I got an allowance and stuff, but I didn't want for much anyway. So it wasn't about, I wish now that it had been about making money, and then I would have understood that money was a thing, and then I would have understood it much earlier. But.
Well, I mean, money, it's all a construct.
Enjoy
your youth while you have it. Don't think about money.
Oh, not mine. You just mean in general. I thought you meant mine. Yeah.
I mean, sure. Enjoy your youth specifically. I mean, it was pretty Pretty cute youth. I remember one time I was babysitting, and like I was babysitting these like 3 insane children for like 13 hours, and I was maybe 14 years old. I was Red Cross certified, don't get me wrong. But I was a child myself, and it was such a difficult day, and the guy, when he finally came home, was such an asshole. And I thought, okay, well, at least I'll get X amount of dollars. And he just like shoved a $20 bill in my hand. I'm like, that should do it, and just closed the door. And I was just a child. I was just like, okay.
Lord.
It was just like, I mean, and thankfully now the children have, they are,
taken care of.
well, they, you
Minded.
well, those children were mine, but the children today who are babysitting, it's like, they're
Vetted.
Yeah, I and also like if someone does that to you, you can like you can put them on blast on the social media, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I was just like, okay, and he exactly knew that I was just gonna be okay.
Of course, I would too.
But yeah, it's a racket. Okay, so basically we have like 5 minutes left of the hour, but we have like we have 35 minutes of programming. But we won't do that to you.
No. So how should we end it? Should we answer the question?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right,
we've gone over every other time. This is our 4th podcast, everyone.
It's our 4th one.
We're very excited for it. It's one of my favorite numbers. And we are, I think that, we've gone like 15 minutes over every time.
Yeah,
so in the grand tradition.
I think we're safe to go 15 minutes. In fact, when this goes there, we should go to 15. This, I don't think this will record more than much longer than that.
Perfect.
Anyway, so we're good.
It's good. We technology will say no. It's a river must have banks. We must have boundaries. So anyway, advice and tangents. Because I know after all that, you guys are like, oh my god, how am I going to live my life without hearing what you would do in this scenario?
Yeah.
And my dear friend, who wishes to remain anonymous, she had a question.
Okay.
It is a parenting question, but it's fine if you're not a parent.
I'm not a parent. Although I'm a parent of that fluffy thing and then another fluffy thing over there.
That's great.
Right.
I feel like that,
I'll pretend it's for me.
Yeah. I mean, your opinion is still valid. The aunties and uncles and gunkles of the world, you hold up the world. Don't forget that.
I'm a gunkle and the world is here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, whatever, what's up? Jostling
Don't
shit
shrug.
around.
Don't shrug, Atlas. So my friend has a super smart kid.
Okay.
And she's in kindergarten. And when she did all the crazy crap testing they make kids do, she had like 99 percentile in math. She understands algebra, multiplication. I didn't understand any of that for a very long time. But her last 2 report cards from kindergarten just say that her math skills are satisfactory. And that's not, it's not like a pass-fail situation. There are things above satisfactory. But she's just getting satisfactory in math, even though she is technically kind of a genius in math. Mm-hmm. And she's a parent teacher.
Preach it, girl. Preach it. That's your daughter. Preach it.
I mean, you have to recognize the greatness around you.
True. Even if it is a very small child.
And I've been around this child, and she really, the show Number Blocks on Netflix has really created a space in her brain that I still don't have when it comes to math. But also not giving them the cred. The child is amazing. And so there's a parent-teacher conference coming up. And so my friend is saying, is it completely insane to bring up that their child is only getting a satisfactory in math at a kindergarten parent-teacher conference, given the fact that,
she's tested really super high.
And the teacher knows this, and they know this. So it's like, this is they don't want to be annoying. They don't want to be a crazy person, but at the same time, they kind of want to say, like, what's going on? Because this is sort of, this is a well-known fact that this kid is very good at this. So they should really be schooling kindergarten math.
So my devil's advocate would say
Devil's avocado.
The devil's avocado, the devil's guacamole. I would take every test with a little bit of a grain of salt, but know that the things that are tested for in general might not be exactly to the curriculum of some kindergartner teacher. Like the two, your daughter could literally be like the waiting tables thing. It might not have to do with one another. She's clearly tested way above what she's getting, but that might mean that the way that they get their information is just different from that. And
yes, I would say to put some zest on your devil's guacamole. I would say that it's important to understand that yes, testing is very different from real knowledge, but also a lot of kids who are very smart often fly under their radar in because they're bored. When something is so when it is so, I don't know, it is
pedestrian.
It's so pedestrian.
This algebra is pedestrian.
Well, they're not doing algebra in kindergarten. I'm just kidding. They're just like, oh, you want me to fucking add some oranges? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I remember being that kid, not with math, but I remember, just I have a distinct memory at one time asking how to get into the special needs classroom because it seemed like a lot more fun.
Oh my!
I really did.
It probably was.
It
was probably way more chill.
It was way more chill, and that's what I was going for, and so I think that there's just a lot. Also, these teachers, God bless you, teachers.
God bless you, teachers, and not because you sneezed. Actually, God bless you.
Yeah. I mean, truly, there is so little incentive for the teachers in our country to do their jobs in any kind of
and really dig in. There's not much incentive to actually.
They have so many students and they have so many. I don't know. It's just a very. Everything is fucked in our school system, and I very much admire people who are teaching.
Me too.
But I also think that with the amount of kids that are in classes, it's very easy for things to get overlooked. So I do think it is important and not crazy helicopter parenty to say.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I just want you to, I want to talk about this because, she did test so well and I see that she has these skills that I certainly didn't have when I was that age.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like it's underperforming because she's bored? Do you feel like it's she's just maybe not, the material isn't translating very well to her skill? And it's not so much to sort of be my daughter's a genius and you need to cater to her, but 100%. Just sort of...
It would not do her any good to cater to her at all. But I think that maybe the conference, if does that mean that's just her and they teach her by themselves? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, for sure. But I agree with the way that you brought it up. Not hey dude, WTF. But I just want to understand, what do you think is the reason why satisfactory is all we have? Because we all know that my daughter's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
I 100% think that's a good time to do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy at all. I think that it's very important to make sure that I don't know, you don't want to be a crazy parent, but at the same time you want to be able to draw the teacher's attention to things that they may not see about your kid if you can, because the classroom dynamic is wild and it has a 5 million matrices.
Yes.
Whatever, however you're
any
supposed to say
perspective they can offer.
Yeah.
Would be, because all you really need is perspective, because first grade comes along and she's big pimping or whatever, but it might just be the curriculum might be boring, or she might whatever. So any perspective that he can give her is worth bringing it up.
Because I remember I have trauma around memorizing the multiplication tables when I was in third grade. That's third grade shit. At least it was. And I feel like, like when it's very easy to just feel bored and checked out, especially when you're just like, I don't know, like worksheet central in public school. Not at all saying that this teacher is doing anything bad. But anyway, they have a million kids, and I'm sure that you will come to it with grace and humor. And it is just, I think it's good to ask them what they see.
Yeah.
Because it's just important to compare perspectives, but not necessarily. I mean, it's kindergarten. Who
Also,
gives a fuck? We took naps in kindergarten, and we were done at like 1 p.m.
Yeah. Also, I think that if you're going to be a helicopter parent, now's the time. You know what I mean? Like at that time in a kid's life, perhaps they need more of a helicopter. So I think she's doing the right thing, just being involved in every moment that she wants to.
Yeah.
So good, I say go for it, Anonymous.
Go for it, Anonymous. and by that we do mean the hackers. Go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you want to erase student loan debt or any kind of,
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
why don't hackers focus on eliminating debt? I just don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question.
How great would that be if all of a sudden all the records were just gone?
Bam. Oops.
Mm-hmm. Oopsie.
Clerical error.
But anyway, yes. So, gentle friend, please, say something with humor and perspective, and just know that you're not being crazy for just kind of,
at all.
Asking a couple questions, because
Yes.
that's all it is. It's not any kind of a like, I'll have your ass kind of a situation. It's fucking kindergarten math.
And you want to know what you want to know. It's your kid. And teachers are used to parents wanting different levels, I'm sure, every time too. So I say do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
And so now the next part of our show is upright or uptight. Are you? And this is a time where Chris and I
we can reflect on our week.
Yeah, and we can say things that that we feel uptight and angry about, and things that we're upright and fancy about. You can also be uptight and fancy. Plenty of people are, but that's not really our gig necessarily.
That's not our gig. Oh, interesting. Do you have an immediate answer on upright or uptight?
I feel like, because Katja is right here. So if you are viewing on the YouTubes, you will see that there is this absolutely gorgeous votive of Katja, and it's in the fashion that saints are placed on prayer candles, and it's Katja of Trixie and Katja, also of and drag queens. But I think that one of the things I was thinking about is just that I feel so uptight and angry sometimes that drag queens don't get their due. I feel like some of the funniest, smartest people are drag queens, and because that is what they do, they're relegated to unless you are a gay person or a gay enthusiast, you may not even know they exist. True. And there are people like Trixie Mattel who have music careers and all of these other things, like comedy careers, where they have really expanded. I mean, really a show on I don't know. I know it's on the Discovery whatever. And Trixie Mattel, so good. But most people have not expanded at that level. True. But there are just so many of the most brilliant and hilarious minds that, and when I talk about being a drag queen enthusiast, I see people kind of glaze over, and I'm like, no, I would like you to just, I would like you to do a little peruse before you just kind of paint it with a broad brush. Yeah. And Trixie and Katja, as far as things that make me, they don't all have to, the last time I know we both had something that made us both uptight and upright. And so we don't always have to do that. But also, Trixie and Katja, they always make me feel upright and fancy. And they have the Bald and the Beautiful podcast. They've got on YouTube and wow. And then they also, they're enterprising. They're enterprising women that do all kinds
homosexuals.
Yeah,
they really are.
And I feel like not enough people are attune, not necessarily because they have any issue with the existence of drag queens or homosexuals. It has nothing to do with that prejudice. It's just like, it's a world that I feel like is apart in this way. And so I would just like to say, if you are feeling a little, go to the YouTubes and look up by Trixie and Katya. Well, you could just type in Trixie
There's
and
a
Katya.
million.
Or
There's a million.
Wow
you might want to just look up Trixie and Katya because
it's very hard
to spell.
I am. But I swear at one point when I was so depressed, I really feel like they like breathed life into my like just
they do
vacant corpse.
They're just
like,
they're just real human beings. So
funny.
The other side. So if that is uptight and angry about, so you gave the uptight and angry side, right?
It was both. So it's basically I was feeling a little angry that people don't
know them yet. See?
Yeah, and then but I was also feeling very upright and fancy about their existence and their body of work.
All right. Yeah,
yes.
okay.
I don't know if that's a good one, but
no, I think I mean whatever.
I was listening to the Bold and the Beautiful on the way over here.
There's no bad answer.
I mean, there are bad answers, I think.
I mean, if you were like pedophilia, then that might be a bad answer.
That's something that makes me feel upright and fancy.
Yeah, I mean that might be, and not uptight and angry. Yeah.
I mean, in general, I feel like the jury's come back on pedophilia, where everyone's
pretty much everyone's. It's like blackface. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like you just don't want to do it. Just we're not there.
And yet some people make their careers out of defending it. It's strange with both blackface and pedophilia.
So I honestly don't know that I have an answer other. I mean, so this is so basic of me, but being sick.
You were just sick for a while.
Toby was sick for a long time.
Toby, his partner.
Uptight, angry about him being sick. Mm-hmm. Then he started to come out of being sick. Then I started to feel weird. But I'm overcoming it, so that's my upright and fancy and my uptight. I feel like we're setting a precedent of only having one thing that covers both.
Okay, I mean,
I think
we contain multitudes. I think that it makes sense, especially with, I don't know, with like your Zycam journey.
Yes,
you know?
I've had a Zycam journey.
If you catch it at the exact right moment.
Yes.
You it can do wonders if you if you let it go just a little bit,
just
past
hair.
That point.
You were so right.
Before you go and get the Zycam, you're fucked. It's not gonna. It's not.
So the only way that Zycam helps you is if you get it in time, and by in time, you're like, I feel a tickle. It's time for Zycam. At that moment.
You have to get a tip, maybe from like an anonymous source. Maybe your partner's sick. Maybe you get some kind of a singing telegram saying the flu's going around, but just start the Zycam immediately. Also, there are a few different things. Elderberry.
Yes.
I love the D. And zinc. Garlic, oregano oil, all these things. I feel like it shortens if you can really go for it, it will shorten anything that you have. But if you start at the beginning, it will prevent it. Yeah. And Zycam, while it sometimes is a little bit of a beast because if you don't have enough food in your stomach with Zycam, it is just. It's just Barfsville.
I've done the nasal swab, and it's actually been really great. And I felt a little Barfsville today, and that was probably why. I think it's still in my system the same way, but so that's my upright and uptight. But I want to, because we talked about Katya. Mm-hmm. As our ending things, I want to because we do a tarot every day before.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we always forget it. But we have candles here that tell a story as well. So today we had Katya and Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah with a little freaking grody hair. But we also there's two different candles that we have, and you can either have it set on the Misfits or Jim and the Holograms. Today, I don't know if you could tell, we were in the mood of the Misfits. But we also have Mariah or Whitney, and we were Mariah today. So today the cards dealt us Mariah and the Misfits. And Katya and
Queen
Latifah. Yeah, Queen Latifah.
Well, I feel like, we have for our typical run of the Queen Makeover, we have a minute. So I feel like we should just pull a card for our people just to help guide your day. So we ask for a little bit of just a little bit of inspo.
Yeah.
A little bit of guidance.
This is for all of you that have stuck with us for this entire episode. This is moving forward on this day or this night or tomorrow or whenever you're sitting and hearing this.
Whenever you hear this is when you're supposed to be hearing this.
Yeah.
And of course I would just like to have a disclaimer that I am a novice tarot card reader. For sure. I just have fun with it, and I have done more of a deep dive recently, but it's really, I have no ego tied up in my understanding of the cards, and these cards are so fun. It's we should link to it. It's called Pause Tarot, and it is this hilarious fat cat. And
it's amazing.
Oops, and I dropped it. Okay, so our card for our gentle listeners / viewers for whenever they are getting this message. What is your message for them? Let's find out. Okay, Chris. Which stack?
You were tempting me with the big stack in the middle, but you know what? I'm gonna go. I went with the medium stack last time.
You can put your hand over it and feel as well.
I feel like it's that one.
You feel like it's that one?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, it's definitely that one. Okay. All right. Ooh, this is good. Everybody. Queen of Swords, and I'm going to bring this over here. I feel like everyone
should see what...
You've got to see this card. The Queen of Swords. So, the suit of swords is all about logic, success, reason, basically taking, when possible, when prudent, taking logic over feelings and emotions and things and making wise decisions. And the Queen of Swords has been through some shit. And it is very, and integrating all of the shit she's been through into a place of wisdom, mentorship.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Instead of a pit of lava.
Yeah. I mean, if the Queen of Swords was reversed, it would be like, you need to integrate your shit to get
to this point.
Yeah, you need to integrate your shit because you're not. You could have more of a presence, more of a pull. You could have this incredible gift to give as far as being an example and having wonderful and pithy things to say.
Pithy.
Is that how you say it? And then, but Queen of Swords is basically embrace your bad bitch, be smart, be wise, don't be ashamed of the shit you've been through, learn from it and tell those stories, and give them fucking hell. The Queen of Swords is a bad bitch. So all of you listening, watching, you a bad bitch.
You a bad motherfucking bitch.
Mm-hmm. Take anything that's happened to you and make it into gold. This is the alchemy of the Queen of Swords. She is beautiful. She is queen. She is an amazing fat cat in this particular representation.
It's amazing.
And go for it. So that's something that we shared for you.
Yes.
And we thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
We have so much fun. Please let us know what you want from us.
If you have any questions, if you have any advice, if you have any stories you want to tell, if you have any memories of us, if you know us and you have some weird, deep, dark story you want to tell.
Yeah. If you want to hire us for sex acts and PG, also upright and...
All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. I'm with you.
Just kidding.
I'm with that.
It's
just kidding. Just kidding.
What would the Queen of Swords do?
Yeah,
she
all right.
WWKQSD.
Okay. All right, it's time.
She would say, make sure that it's a firm offer before you proceed. So you just want to make sure that offer is firm.
Sure.
Anyway, I love you.
I love you.
We had so much fun. And please, uprightandfancy@gmail.com.